So welcome folks, we've got a really busy day today, a lot of people here. We have our friend John up on the cherry picker. He's just doing off the finishing touches on the chimneys for us. Let me take you up on the field. Sorry about the tractor noise. Get you spun round. Right, so we have Lionel, who is a absolute saint, and Valerie has come over from work. Say hello. Say hello, Valerie. Cuckoo. Tracy.
My bestie.
And we have Christy and Paul with us today. Say hello, Christy.
Hiya.
Christy's one of our patrons, and they've kindly come over to give us a little hand today. They have a beautiful little home of their own here. There's a holiday home.
Paul, you're from Chester, aren't you?
Yeah, Chesterfield.
Chesterfield in on
And always
Derbyshire, yeah.
the legend who he is Lionel, the animal. Oh no, it's fantastic. So as we showed you the other day, we've cleared out, we're just redoing a fire now, and we're going to burn most or a lot of the wood and just pick the big bits and keep them. I'm over here on the digger. I've pulled down that dangerous wall that was across there, the low wall, as it was falling over. It was much higher when we got here, but it had collapsed, and then we've just cleared that away as well. So now I'm coming around here with a dig, and I'm digging out the trees that are in the way, so we can start to pull this earth back again to start the footings in. John's pointing away up there, securing the chimney for us, and that's it for today. Well, we'll crack on and get on some work done, eh?
Ciao, ciao.
At it for a while, and nothing ever gives. Thinking you missed a turn back a ways. Feels like a mile just to move an inch, and you wonder what it's gonna take, and you wonder if it's all a waste. Oh, if you could only see the walls about to crumble. I know it's been a struggle, but you're closer than you think. You're closer than you think.
So there folks, you can see we're starting to pull out this loose earth now. This is quite loose, this stuff here, and this is what was pushed up inside. It must have been put in there over years as waste, like, you know, material. But I'm pulling it back, exposing the wall again, the inside, getting down to the original floor level. So I've got all this to pull out. This here, this side was the wall that collapsed this way. It's literally, hang on, see if I can find it. It was here somewhere, in line with the back of the house, and it's collapsed over and all fallen in, and then they've just levelled it off, whoever, back in the day. But you can see I pulled out the big old tree from here now, and I've taken down some of the stones off this wall, and I've taken up the old wall because it was in a real bad state. That's it there, that's all the stones in there, and pulled them all out the hole. That's where they were laid down inside, so I've just cleaned them out, and now I'm going to put some concrete in there to make it more viable, stronger. But someone here before us started to build, we think was a toilet, and they were rebuilding the room there because the stone wall is behind there, and we know that because down here there's a toilet inlet that goes into our fosse, which goes along here and then goes all the way down over to there, to the fosse. But this is what I've been up to the last 2 days. So I'm gonna level all this off, put some more hardcore in there, and then start bringing it up to ready for concrete floor or beam, not sure yet. Might go block and beam, not sure yet. But I've got to get all this out, and I estimate roughly between 60 and 80 tons to pull back, and hopefully the old digger will do it for us. Get that cleared out, and then we can find that back footing, and I can clear that out and then start taking that, getting that ready for to pour some concrete in and put new footings in. And then I'm going to clean this wall level here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that broken lintel, which is wood, take that out and take all that dangerous stuff off top there, and at the same level all the way through take it off the stone and rebuild it. And then, but before I rebuild it, I'm going to put in what we call a concrete collar, so it will go all the way along. When I build this wall up with block, it will come all the way across the top of that and then all the way back here as like a collar with steel in it to hold it all together, and then we can go up another level and then put the roof on. But long way to go yet, but this is the biggest job we've got here, I should think. Anyway, I'm going to crack on with this digging. Now I've got to stop here, I've got to go back to this big pile and move it all again, because I've got no dumper truck, so I can only move it in big piles to where I want it to go, and I want it to go over there. Okay.
Child who keeps saying never really let it go.
Hello folks, so just going to give you another perspective of what we're doing in the kitchen area. So outside here is going to be the kitchen area, and let me go out there and show you. So we're just backfilling this area here with, it's like a rubbly, earthy, clay stuff, but it's what we got, because we've got to build it right up to this level here. Let me jump out and show you. So floor level is going to be finished with that step there, so there's a lot to come up, but we're not going to take it all the way up. What we're going to do is, we were going to go concrete, weren't we, Trey?
Yeah, but we've changed our mind now.
So we're going to go to, going to put a timber floor down, joisted. I'm going to blind this out with sand, put a membrane down, then we're going to put a joist that's raised up off the floor, fitted to the walls all the way around on some little columns I'm going to build in the centre, and then we'll insulate the floor and make it into a timber floor, which is nicer to stand on than a hard floor concrete. Especially if you're standing at a cooker for long hours or anything, you know. I know you don't, but you know what I'm saying. But let me explain what's happened here. So Tracy's loading out some stones for me from this pile. We're utilising and using them, yeah.
And I'm keeping the flat stones as well, because we'll need some for when we do the steps in the front of the porch, and they're handy for other projects.
Yeah, for paving, like,
paving
yeah.
and that,
Yeah.
So some lovely.
There's a nice big one there as well, isn't there? So we had a wall here, which that's where all them stones have come from. That wall was right in this place here, and basically what I've done is, because it was falling down, well, it had fallen down when we'd first arrived here. That was 6-7 months before we was on YouTube, and we cleared a lot of it away. But once I found the reason why, when I dug out the footing where all the stone was in, this stone was in there as well. I done it with a digger. We found that there was a really bad corner over there where it was all rubbly and thin. There weren't no big stones in there. So what we're doing is we're replacing the big stones back in the trench here, and then we're going to pour about 200 mil of concrete over the top of that, and that will be our footing. We found some bad workmanship here, didn't we, Trey?
Yes, we did.
So
Not passing the blame.
yeah, this pipe here is the sewage from upstairs. So this is the toilet pipe waste, and that goes down all the way over there to the fosse and away. But it's the height, the depth. It's not deep enough. That should be another at least 300 mil deeper in the ground, but they didn't do that. So it says to me it was someone who was off the boat, as they say, and just laid it in there in the old way and didn't know the rules. But anyway, it doesn't matter to us, because we're going to work around it. I'm going to just dig out a bit more here, because I've hit the footing of the the house. So I'm going to dig a bit more out there, and then we're going to wrap that in concrete. No stones around that. And there we go. And the walls, do you remember what they were like, Trey?
Yeah.
These walls were up high when we first moved here, weren't they?
Yeah.
And
but obviously it didn't look too secure, did it? That's why we've taken it down.
yeah,
Obviously to this
so we've taken it
level.
down to the stuff that's solid,
Yeah.
and we're going to reutilise it because there is a footing in here. So they'd done a footing at some stage, and there was also some old timbers which we think were the roof timbers, because there was a lot of tiles here, weren't there? And we cleared them all out.
It's a project that they've started, wasn't it? Obviously a project or someone before the line.
I think it was before that, because the pile that was here, sorry, coming back again, the pile that was here of wood had come off the roof. It looked like roof structures because it had birth mouth cuts in it, but it was old. So I don't know what's happened really. It's quite confusing, but we're going with this here now. We're going to go back on with new blocks on top of here, clean all that ivy off and the moss, and we'll push on.
Yeah, and I have to jet spray all of this first.
Yep.
Up here.
So Tracy's going to hit this with a jet sprayer, clear all this moss off. This is white moss, and it smells nice actually. It smells like perfume.
I can smell that.
But
It's a sweet smell.
sweet smell, yeah.
And here, look, I've got to rebuild all this, haven't I, as well?
So you're going to let Tracy do this, build this corner up.
Rebuild all of this.
Okay, so that's been eaten away somehow. I don't know what's happened there. We don't know, but we're just going back to what we got. There's another perspective of the where the workshop's going to be here. So it'll be a lovely big workshop. We're going to keep the old wall and the footings for the old walls. We're going to just clear them out and see if they're good enough to put new walls on. Anyway,
I was in the potager yesterday evening, and I was looking from up here down back this way, and we've not seen this, have we?
No,
We
this
haven't
view.
seen the wall to what is going to be the workshop.
Yeah.
So it was actually really nice. I know it just looks, it's a ruin at the moment, but looks good.
it's all looking good. Anyway, well, we'll be back in a bit. We'll do some speed ramping, I think.
At it for a while, and nothing ever gives. Thinking you missed a turn back a ways. Feels like a mile just to move an inch, and you wonder what it's gonna take. And you wonder if it's all a waste. Oh, if you could only see the walls about to crumble. I know it's been a struggle, but you're closer than you think. You're closer than you think. Sitting in the dark, waiting on the stars, thinking through all the places you've been. Isn't what it seems, chasing down a dream. It's the same thing again and again. But you know there's a light at the end. Oh, if you could only see the walls about to crumble. I know it's been a struggle, but you're closer than you think. You're closer than you think. Closer, closer. And you wonder what it's gonna take. And you wonder if it's all the way.
So you see us on the putting the sand down, and I'll explain what we've been doing. We've just cleared, well, I've cleared all this area earlier, and I've just brought over the mixer. So the mixer's under there. I'm going to cover it up properly in a minute. But you saw us putting the sand down, and why we was doing that, what reason for, is we're just blinding it over. We call this blinding over, right? And then on top of there will be a membrane, waterproof membrane, and then raised off of that there'll be a timber floor, joisting, or bastions we call them. So they're very thick joists like this, heavy, and they'll sit on a couple of little columns underneath that are just packed up stone or brick, just to hold the middle area. And then they're fitted on a wall plate that goes all the way around, bolted into all the walls. Okay, and they're going to come up to the height of that step there, or just below that for the floor covering, obviously. So just getting myself ready now for the morning to pick up some materials to make the concrete for this. Just this, a concrete capping, if you like, of about 200mm. Going to go on here. I'm just going to put a little shutter on this side, and then that'll be setting up ready so I can start the block work and bringing them up. I'm going to go and pick up as well tomorrow about 300 blocks of these size particular. And then how we'll get the insulation in here is we'll build a stud wall in the inside with a membrane, a breathable membrane, and that'll be insulated and then plasterboarded for the finish. And what I'm trying to create is a full height wall over that side, window either side there. There'll be a cooker in the middle with an over mantle and a build everything. On this wall here in front of us, okay, there'll be a big long window here, and then a door coming out to the garden here. So it gives you sort of a visualization, if you can visualize that, what we're going to be doing. Anyway, this is what we've been up to today, me and Trace. So we got all that sorted, and the good thing is here, because this floor's coming up quite high, yeah, and the sink is coming over here now, where the window's going to be. We was going to go over this side, but we've changed it, so the window's going to go here basically, and all the water, what they call it, waste, goes down into the septic, and then it goes out into the runoff, or whatever they call it. I can't remember the name of it now. But the good thing was, when they was doing this, well, whenever they did this before and they was repairing it, they put in this is a jetting eye, or you take this off and then you put your rods down there if you need to clean ever, and it goes straight down, yeah, because there's other pipes coming in on the side. So I'm going to put a special cap on there under the floor, and then we're going to run all the washing machine and sink. It's just a washing machine sink in there. We don't have a dishwasher, we don't like them, but you know, it's just one of them things. But anyway, there'll be a facility there if anyone who in the future wanted to do that. But that's it. So we've been there today, pounded all this down, compacted it down. It does nothing really, it just stops, because this sand is this is sea sand, so this has come from the sea. That means it's very salty. So why we do that blinding is we put that down, the salt in there stops anything from growing, and then the membrane going over it, which is a waterproof membrane, will stop anything coming through as well. And also it gives you a nice stable floor to walk about on while I'm doing the block work. But anyway, I was a little bit long-winded. But so gonna have some dinner now. It's getting a bit late, it's nearly 7 o'clock. Be dark soon, but yeah, we're cracking on, as they say, cracking on. Hey, me and Tracy, a two-man team, 2 man, 1 man, 1 man, 1 woman.
Child who keeps saying never really let it go. They say a clean slate, but everybody